Good afternoon and welcome back to our last session. I'm MaryBeth with On-Site Wellness and this is Kathryn again. And we are basically going to wrap this up and talk about some lifestyle factors and how those can boost our immune system. So I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about stress, how we can decrease stress, smoking, if you are a smoker, just maybe some tips and tricks as far as quitting smoking, just decreasing alcohol intake in general, if that's something that is a part of your current lifestyle in general, and then overall steps to aid with preventing infection. So to get started with stress, it's just so important, as we talked about in that last segment. When we're stressed out, our cortisol levels increase, we're suppressing our immune system and those organs that hold those immune cells, so they're not being released and they're just not working as well. So really just focusing on simple tips and tricks to aid with self-care and how you can decrease stress. And I don't know, MaryBeth, do you have anything that is like your go-to decompressing?
I love to do yoga in the morning. I get up and I do some simple stretching and then I get into a little yoga routine, and that really helps me to become centered, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and yes, we are all very stressed out lately, just being quarantined, and now we want to get out and have fun and socialize, and it's just, we still have to be careful, but yet,
I think that what I love about what you just said is you use it to start your day.
Yeah.
So it just sets the tone for the day. And that's something I talk to people about quite frequently is, having those 10 to 15 minutes when you wake up to really aid you in setting your tone for how you're going to approach the day. And it's just going to aid you in getting over some of those maybe more stressful situations.
Your mindset, your mind does so many things when you have it set.
Right, already in the morning. That clarity, you feel, like you said, centered, grounded. And then again, I would recommend that in the evening. If individuals can find 10 to 15 minutes again at night for that yoga, meditation, maybe it's just a walk, maybe it's just listening to some of your favorite music, but just letting that mind totally relax prior to going to bed, because that's going to aid us in sleeping. And we did talk about that in that last segment too, how important it is to be able to just turn the mind off and get that rest that your body needs. But remember, it doesn't have to be yoga, it doesn't have to be meditation, it can be anything that works for you. Maybe it's taking a hot shower, taking a hot bath, maybe it's
a cold shower.
Yes, the Michigan's humid summer.
Yes.
Going outside for a walk, maybe it's meeting a friend for dinner. Whatever you need to aid you in just decompressing and letting go of some of that additional stress is what we really want to focus on when we're talking about ways that you can reduce stress and develop good coping mechanisms. If you aren't wanting to be going out and socializing right now, doing those virtual meetings with friends or making phone calls, just continuing to have a good support system in place is going to really be beneficial. And so then some other lifestyle components that we're talking about is smoking and alcohol use. So both of those things increase the amount of free radicals that we have going on in our body, which is going to ultimately, suppress the immune system as well. And it can also lead to other issues. If you're drinking a lot of alcohol, that can also lead to elevated triglycerides. It can lead to early onset diabetes if it's a lot of sugar. With the smoking, we see individuals with a lot of more upper respiratory infections and COPD. So you're just putting yourself at risk for developing illness a little bit more. And that's why we really wanted to just take a moment today to talk about those things and ways that you can even just decrease, slowly wean off of it. I don't know, do you have any good tips for individuals that may be smokers right now and ways for them to decrease that?
Yeah, I basically just take a peek, take an inventory of when you do smoke. Write it down. How are you feeling while you're doing it? And do that over a week and see where you're at. And maybe there's, maybe you find out, I smoke when I get up. So maybe the next day, just say, I'm not going to do that. I'll smoke an hour after I wake up. Or I can cut a cigarette out when I'm driving home from work, or yeah, just little tips on, you know, trying to find out what your triggers are, and totally taking them out and focusing on something else.
Right, like replacing.
Yes, replacing.
So if you're
Yes.
waking up and you always want to smoke right when you wake up, maybe that's when you integrate yoga.
Yeah.
Or you integrate a walk, or you just get up and you drink water.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, replacing that current habit with a better habit.
Yes.
I think that's really beneficial too. And the same thing to be said with alcohol consumption. If you come home every single day from work and pour yourself a glass of wine, just going, why am I doing this? Is this just a habit?
Mm-hmm.
Does one glass turn into three? You know, just kind of understanding those things more about yourself, and then, you know, pulling back from there. Is it just a social thing? Would you not have been drinking if your spouse was, you know, not drinking? So just understanding why we have these habits in general is what's really going to aid us in decreasing them or finding ways to replace them.
A good thing to do is, like, when you think you need something, take a step back and think about it. Do I really need that glass of wine right now? I can have some water or something. Just, being mindful.
Right. And if you do feel like you need it, did you have a stressful day at work? Did you have a stressful conversation with a family member? You know, what is that really doing, and what void may that be filling? And again, what could you replace with that and come back to it 15 minutes later and you really still want it and have it. But, you know, at least thinking through it, right? Yeah. And then lastly, just those standard practice precautions for preventing viruses. So, you know, we did talk about in that first segment those mucosal membranes. Mm-hmm. So wearing a mask, because it's going to aid you in keeping your nasal passage closed up, your mouth closed up, so you're not going to have the virus coming in as easily to that area. And then again, if you're asymptomatic and carrying something, you're not, you know, spreading it as easily as well.
And I'm a face toucher, so it helps me to not touch my face so much.
I will be 100% honest. The first time I went to the store back in, I want to say end of April, early May, and I had a mask on, and I was getting produce, and I couldn't bring my reusable produce bags in, so I went to grab one of the plastic ones and automatically just naturally went to put my finger in my mouth. You know, it's something, a habit I didn't even realize I had. Yeah. So I think sometimes the mask helps us maybe break some of those habits or realize how much we might have touched our face before without even realizing it. Washing your hands, you know, best practice, at least 20 seconds. I would say 20 to 30 seconds. You know, sing happy birthday, sing a song, really just getting in there, washing your hands really good.
And it doesn't even matter if it's cold water or hot water. Just washing use some soap in 20 seconds.
And then the 6 feet social distancing as well is going to be really beneficial. So just keeping yourself spread out so that you're not impacting or putting yourself in a position rather to be, you know, putting yourself at risk of contracting that infection from somebody else. Yeah. And I think that basically sums up what I have for today.
Perfect. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us in these 4 sessions. Again, if you have questions, give us a shout. I can be reached at MaryBeth at onsitewellnessllc.com, and Kathryn can be reached at Kathryn at onsitewellnessllc.com. And we hope you enjoyed these. Thank you so much.